Well, fosters are essential to rescue. It's the only way we are able to operate. It's the middleman between a dog that's in a shelter on the street to a dog in a forever home. And so fostering is it is about life and death. It is about saving dogs. It's a privilege, a big responsibility, and a lifestyle. Once you start fostering, you'll either find that you love it or that it's not for you. And that's okay too. But it is definitely about being hands on, opening up your heart and home to a dog you don't know, guiding them, giving them your love and care and patience, your skills in training, in helping them learn, your acts of kindness and sometimes sacrifice, promoting them, getting them a forever home, finding them a home that is best suited to their temperament and personality. It's definitely not about test driving a dog to adopt. Although you may want to adopt in the future, fostering is more about helping than any self interested agenda you may have. You should love dogs. You should have a passion for dogs. That passion will serve you well in your experience in fostering. When things get a little challenging, when your foster perhaps ruins your rug or tests your patience on leash or counter surfs, grabs your sandwich off the counter, you're going to fall back on your love for animals, your love for dogs when these things happen. And those things will happen. Expect to have a dog come into your home that is not well trained and be pleasantly surprised when they are. Have realistic expectations because we have to be realistic with a lot of the dogs that are coming into rescue have never had a stable home, have never had training. Some have never lived in a home aside from being rescued and being put in a southern foster home for Paws New England. They perhaps have been living outside their whole life. So you have to have realistic expectations on the dogs that you potentially will be fostering. You should have knowledge of caring for a dog in general basic knowledge, and be open to learning and training your foster dog, helping them along their journey, giving them extra skills, basic obedience, crate training, potty training, things that will serve them well in their adoptive homes. And expect to treat them like you would your own, because essentially that's what we expect from you. We are giving you a lot of responsibility when you take in a foster. They are treated as if they were your own. You're responsible for them. You're responsible for the situations you put them in. And that said, you're also responsible in working with an adoption coordinator to choose a home for them. So you're very actively involved in the process. We want you to be involved. We want you to know the dog and to find a good home for them that you're comfortable with, a home that you've chosen and that you've approved and that you saw and met the person adopting. And in some cases, you may have even visited the adoptive home during a home visit or a meet and greet. And so it is definitely very hands-on where you have a lot of say on where you feel that dog would do best. Paws New England will cover all the medical expenses and the monthly preventative, heartworm preventative and flea and tick preventative. You are still responsible to notify us if the dog needs a vet appointment, and then follow the guidelines provided by the organization on how to set up a vet appointment properly through our vet coordinator. And you're responsible to administer the preventatives each month. Keep track of that. You're also responsible for dog food and supplies. Now, in most cases, gathering your supplies like a crate, a leash, a dog bed, bowls, you can often borrow those things from other volunteers within the community. In terms of dog food, we have no specifications on the type of dog food that you need to use. You can use whatever you want. In some cases, if dog food becomes a financial burden, then we will step in and help. But because we are a nonprofit and 100% of our funds go to dog rescue, a lot of these extra expenses are typically covered by the foster as a donation to the rescue. They're tax deductible if you keep your receipts, but ultimately it's just a way for you to give back. That said, we understand that in some cases it can be a financial burden and we still need fosters. And so as an honor system, we rely on you telling us if it is a financial burden, and then we can assist at some point with dog food or getting certain supplies that you may need that you couldn't obtain through other volunteers. Fostering is about actively working with an adoption coordinator to promote your dog for adoption. It's about observing them, really getting to know them, what makes them happy or sad or anxious, and then working with a team member to review applications, call applicants, look over checks, references, and ultimately decide if the person applying would be a long-term successful adoption. If you feel in your gut that it would be, you would move forward. If not, then you would wait until the second application comes your way. It's not about rushing them into a home, just any home. It is about letting them stay with you as long as possible or as long as necessary to ensure that they get the best home for them. And so we'll work with you if a dog is in your home for an extended period of time and you simply haven't found that perfect adopter yet for them. And if something comes up, we'll work with you. But we definitely want to wait until the right application comes in for that dog so that they're being placed the first time over in the right home. It's also about addressing anything that may be holding the dog back from being adopted. Maybe the dog has a medical issue or a behavioral issue that could be worked on. Maybe if he or she learned some basic training that might help them get adopted, maybe some socialization with other dogs, or maybe more exposure to humans and people and appropriate behavior with people and children and other dogs. And these are all really great skills that any dog would benefit from, and it would increase their chances of getting adopted. Part of it is also about following the rules and guidelines of the organization. You will be representing us, and so it's important that you are trained a certain way and that you follow our mission and our rules so that everything is done in an efficient, professional manner. And we're here to guide you. You would be coming on as part of a very large community of volunteers, and we all started where you started. And so we welcome you and we support you and we'll guide you and we'll be there for you every step of the way. You'll never be alone or feel like you don't know who to contact at any point in time. You will be connected with a contact list of core volunteers and have access to information and private social media pages so that you feel like you're ready and well equipped to have a good experience fostering for us. We are an all breed rescue, and we need fosters that are willing to take dogs of all breeds and sizes. Oftentimes, we get a lot of people that want to foster dogs under 30 pounds, or they want to foster dogs that are hypoallergenic, which is not really a thing, but that's what they ask for. And they might ask for puppies. And although we need small dog fosters and we need puppy fosters, we also desperately need fosters that are willing to take an adult large dog or a medium sized dog. We're also faced with this reality of a lot of dogs in the South are mixed with pit bull. Even a small percentage, if they're 20% pit, they're still going to have maybe perhaps a boxy head or a boxy build, bully kind of build. And we need people to be able to understand that breed, understand that they're mixed breeds and that they're really all individuals. Lots of times dogs are misunderstood because of breed, and that's very unfortunate because every dog is an individual and they are all different. And it rarely has to do with breed. Normally, it's whatever they've experienced in their life, their history, their past, and their own unique personality and temperament is what makes them who they are. So be open to different breeds, different sizes. That's what we need. And it's unfortunate that not as many people are willing to take those types of dogs. But as an all breed rescue, that's the fosters we're looking for. So keep that in mind. Adopting your foster dog is an option. That's always a question we receive. But it's only an option after you've fostered for us for at least 6 months or have fostered at least 6 dogs. We want you to have the experience of fostering before you settle on foster failing, which is what we call adopting your foster dog. Because fostering is essential to rescue, we take it seriously. Training you, having you come on board, putting you through orientation, and then having you join our tight-knit community, it's a privilege, and we really do need you to take that privilege seriously because what you do is an essential part to the overall success of rescue. It's what would mean rescuing 1,000 dogs a year or 1,200 dogs a year. And it's important that we take in fosters that really understand that the intention is to foster dogs not for anything for themselves, but for the dog. It is that selfless. That said, it's likely that you may at some point want to adopt your foster dog. And as long as there are no applications in queue pending, then of course that would be a great option for you. But we'd like you to have that experience initially first, have at least 6 months or 6 dogs to really get a grasp of what it is all about before you settle on one that you may want to adopt yourself. Keep in mind, we've all fallen in love with our first foster dog. It's very easy to fall in love with the dog, especially when you're putting so much of yourself into bringing them along on their journey. It's very easy to want to foster fail. And we've all been there. But if we had foster failed on our first or second or fourth dog, how many dogs can you realistically have in your home and manage? It would probably prevent you from fostering long term for us or having a big impact in the organization by fostering dogs consistently over the next several years. So just keep that in mind as you come on board. So is fostering for you? If you'd like to apply to be a foster parent, learn more about it, or ask any questions, submit an application and I'll get in touch with you. We'll process your application, and once you're approved, we'll put you through an online orientation, quick and painless, and you'll be matched with your first foster dog and you'll enter into the community. So thank you. Thank you for considering this.